How you guys doing? Alan Peters here, Peters Design Company. And I'm going to walk you through one of my favorite prints of all time. Speed. Black and white, high contrast, geometric lines, even line weight. Man, that thing it's something else. That's one of those designs where I had the idea and I just had to do it immediately. I think I did it over a lunch break, just cranked it out. I had sketched it out, like I think it was like in some meeting or something, and some boring drawn on meeting where there's just, I probably didn't even belong there. It was like some status meeting for some project I wasn't involved with. And so I'm listening and I'm kind of sketching and came up with that thing, and holy cow, it stuck with me. Like I had to make it as soon as possible. I think I started it and finished it over a single lunch break when I was working at Target, So every year, for years, I've done these Art Crank posters. So what Art Crank is, it's a poster show all about bicycles. Basically, you can make whatever you want for the poster show as long as it has something to do with biking. And so, sometimes people do, like something based off the state, like Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox riding bicycles or something like that. Sometimes I've done stuff based off neighborhoods, off the negative space. That was like my last video. And this one was, combining a bicycle with speed. And speed's a hard thing to portray in a 2D image, right? You've seen like motion streaking lines like this in cartoons over the years, or even like really cheesy logos like Fast Prints or something, and it has like some lines coming off it. But they're all, they're a little random. Sometimes they're off the edge of things. And I've usually stayed away from them. But I was really exploring pattern at the time. And, I love dot patterns, like polka dots and heavy, thick lines and stripes. I love like Kate Spade and, like some of those heavy, like just like black and white patterns like that. And I created this cool piece for Target, that ended up being a full brand campaign. This actually was done after the fact, but just taking the bullseye and the dot here and just, continuing to keep that rippling effect going out, making like a full-on bullseye, adding a little bit more to it, something a little bit more complex and something that looks beautiful on its own, just because it's a pretty pattern, right? I did Type Fight at the time. My buddy Luke Bott and I went toe-to-toe to design the coolest P that you could design, and I got lucky and I took home the victory of the best darn P. I got to choose the letter, and I chose P for Peters, because I figured, hey, maybe I could use that for something else. I never did, but I got this cool print out of it. And speaking of Luke Bott, he is amazing. Go check out his work immediately. Stop this video, pause it, come back, because you got to listen to me too. But make sure you check out Luke Bott. Maybe take a note or something. Find it afterwards. So with this puppy, same kind of thing. I've got this black and white line pattern, and they're all evenly spaced. The size of the stripe, the space in between, and then I'm doing a little bit of optical effect illusion where it's curving and wrapping around. And this one's kind of fun because it could double as a heart, which is just kind of a, just like a fun little side thing. And the last one I'm going to show, speaking of hearts, for Valentine's Day one year, a local agency called Little & Company was doing this fun project where everybody's designing greeting cards for Valentine's Day, and then they did an art show based off them. And so mine, it's like these ribbons, and you can see they twist, and it creates this beautiful heart shape. It's kind of fun. And so that's kind of where I was at the time. Lots of dots, lots of stripes. And so, how does a bicycle work into a geometric grid like that? So basically, I was working on trying to simplify the bicycle form down to a really simple form that read as a bicycle at a glance. And I was working on this grid, and the two just came together, and they just start bleeding together. The background, the lines, the pattern, the bicycle, they all become one in a fluid motion. really cool. So after I created this poster, it got a lot of love. I'd post it on Instagram. It would get 1,000 to 3,000 likes. It would get reshared by multiple people, big sites and stuff like that, and so a lot of people end up seeing it. It got pinned a ton, and they started. I started getting contacted by people who wanted to take this print of mine and license it and bring it to life in all different ways. Here's a cool example. This is by Holste, and they did these fun cards, and it has a quote on it by Albert Einstein. It says, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving." And set that left justified in some really beautiful Swiss Helvetica. And letterpress, man. Oof. I pushed them on the letterpress and they went with it. Just has that really nice texture to it. So they sent these out to all their people, and Holste does like these little gift packages. So that's a cool one. REI licensed it, ended up on a water bottle in their stores. People for Bikes licensed it for a water bottle they send out to all their followers. And I don't know, maybe it was self-promotion. I'm not sure exactly how that worked with People for Bikes. And ended up in a bike mural, in like a bike room, like a big full wall mural. Somebody had contacted me about that. A retail bike store, they wanted to use it in the front window. And then one of the most interesting ones, I had a fellow contact me, I think from South America, who wanted to, there was like a contest to design basically the things you lock your bikes to. I'm sure they have a proper name. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But to design them in different styles. And he's like, "Oh, I want to do one like your poster." I'm like, "Can I use the art?" And I'm like, "Well, usually I was in a good mood that day. I was like, what the hell, I'm never going to see it. It's in a different country." Usually I'm a stickler about that. If it was a big giant company, I'd definitely be like, "Well, it's going to cost you." But, this fellow was like, let's see what he comes up with. And full on sculptural take on it. Yeah, I don't totally love how it turned out, but it was kind of neat. It was cool to see what he did. And I love collaborating with other artists and seeing what you guys come up with, and how you get inspired by things that I've made, because I definitely get inspired by things that you guys have made. So that's all I've got to say too much about that poster. It's an awesome one, and you can pick it up at my shop. It's $30, and it is a nice stock, and it is one color. It's a white stock with black ink. You can't go wrong with that. Hey, thanks for your time, and I'll see you around Instagram. Bye.